Hello my dear students, let us start with our today's session. First we will be discussing our homework answers, then we will be moving to the next topic. So last class I have given you total 4 questions. First question was that what is the nature of the distance time graphs for uniform and non-uniform motion of an object? So distance time graph for uniform motion means we know that it is a straight line, right? For non-uniform motion, under that we have seen two cases. When the speed of the body increases with respect to time, then the curve having increasing slope, and when the speed of the body decreases with passage of time or with respect to time means we will have a curve having decreasing slope, isn't it? So next question is that what can you say about the motion of an object whose distance time graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis? So we know that distance time graph which is parallel to the time axis means which is parallel to the x-axis means we know that that body is under stationary body, right? That body is not moving, it is under stationary. Next question, what can you say about the motion of an object if its speed time graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis? See here, speed time graph, speed time graph which is parallel to the straight line parallel to the time axis. Here it is a straight line which is parallel to the time axis means here the object is moving with constant speed. It is moving with constant speed in equal interval of time means it will come under uniform motion. Okay, this motion is under uniform motion. Is it clear? Next one, what is the quantity which is measured by the area occupied below the velocity time graph? See, from velocity time graph, we can calculate two things. One acceleration and one displacement. Here the question is asked that by the area occupied below the velocity time graph. Area occupied below the velocity time graph means we can calculate the magnitude of displacement. Okay, we can calculate magnitude of displacement. So, I hope you have done all these homework question answers into your notebook and you have made your own notes based on graphical representation of motion. So now last class we have discussed graphical representation of motion. Under that distance time graphs and velocity time graphs we have seen. Today we are going to derive three equations of motion which is based on velocity time graph. Okay, so let us start with. So next topic we are going to see equation of motion by graphical method. So from graphical method we are going to derive three equations of motion. For that we are going to consider velocity time graph. Okay, that too here the velocity time graph is under uniform motion. Here the object is already moving with some initial velocity. It's already moving with some initial velocity which we have already learned in our previous class. So it is moving with already some initial velocity means the straight line will be our graph but which is not starting from the origin, right? Here it is having some initial velocity. And here the straight line I have given the name AB. Okay, from B I have drawn perpendicular to the time axis and I have drawn a perpendicular to the velocity axis. Okay, then what I have done, I have drawn from A one perpendicular to this BD also. Now I have given the name that O, A, B, C, D. Clear? So now what we are going to do means here see the object is already moving with some initial velocity. That means U is not equals to 0. Okay. So we know that change in velocity from the graph. See here the question will be coming based on graph. You need to derive this equation based on the graph only. So compulsory you need to draw the graph first and you have to explain about the graph. You have to give little explanation about the graph, then only you need to start deriving the equation. Okay, so now see this is our graph, right? Based on this graph only we have to explain. So this is from velocity time graph we are getting a straight line. Okay, So the acceleration we need to find for this one means, what acceleration means, we know that acceleration equals to, I am denoting it with small letter a. Acceleration equals to change in velocity by time. We know that already, it is change in velocity by time taken, right? So change in velocity means which is equal, from the graph we know change in velocity is which is equals to BC for this AB, right? So I am writing change in velocity is that BC divided by time taken. Time taken for this AB means which is AC, isn't it, students? So I am writing here AC. So this BC, can I write like this? BD minus CD. BD means this total distance minus CD, which is equals to BC only, right? So I am going to write now BD minus CD. Okay, and instead of AC I am going to write OD, which is parallel to AC, right? So I am going to write here OD. Now what I am going to do, I am going to substitute the values for that. BD means the total velocity, which is parallel to the y-axis, that I can write that V. And CD is what? CD means the object is already moving. CD is parallel to OA. That means this object is already moving with some initial velocity. So instead of CD, I am writing here U. And OD. OD means what? The total time taken, which is represented by the letter T. So I have written here, we got now A equals to V minus U by T. Now what I am going to do? I am going to rearrange this one. How to rearrange? While multiplying here, AT equals to V minus U. So I am taking this negative U to this side, means AT plus U equals to V. Again, while rearranging this, I am writing V equals to U plus AT. This is what called our first equation of motion. This is what called our first equation of motion. Is it clear, students? This is very easy only the thing you need to know about this graph, because graphically only you need to prove this. Okay. So first equation of motion is also known as equation for velocity time relation. Okay. Now let us check with our second equation of motion. Okay. For second equation of motion also, we are considering the same velocity time graph which is under uniform motion and the object is already moving with some initial velocity. Okay, same graph only we are taking, and all other terms are also same only. Okay, for while deriving each equation of motion, you need to draw this graph with pencil and scale, and you need to give little description about this also. Okay, about the graph, then only you need to start derive this one. Okay, so now second equation of motion. See here, what we need to find out means, we need to find out the distance traveled. Okay, technically we can say that the distance traveled, which is equals to the magnitude of displacement. We know that from the area under velocity time graphs gives us magnitude of displacement. Is it clear? We know that area under velocity time graph gives us magnitude of displacement, and technically we can say that magnitude of displacement, which is equals to the distance traveled. Okay, which is equals to the distance. So here in second equation of motion, we need to find out the distance traveled, that is equals distance traveled, that is S. S equals to area under VT graph we are going to take. Okay, the graph is same only, area under VT graph. This is for second equation of motion. So area under VT graph means, before that you should understand that, see this one, we know that this is a straight line. Area under this means this is the portion, right? This is the portion, area under this. So this is in the shape of a trapezium. Okay, trapezium of OABD. What is the area of a trapezium means? Half into sum of the parallel sides, which is multiplied by the height. Okay, what is the area of the trapezium? Half into sum of the parallel sides multiplied by height. This is what called the area of the trapezium. Okay, so based on that, now we are going to write S equals to half into sum of the parallel sides means what it will come? OA plus DB, that is the parallel sides, right? OA plus DB into height. Height means what we are taking here? OD. OD. Now what we are going to do? We are going to substitute the values here. What is the value here? It will come value in the sense symbols. OA means we know that which is already moving with initial velocity. So instead of OA we can write here U. Then DB means what you can write? This is which is parallel to the y-axis, that is V, and OD is which is equals to time t. Isn't it, students? Now what we are going to do means we know that from our first equation of motion already we have proved that what V equals to U plus AT. Isn't it? Now here we are going to substitute this value. Okay, so half into U plus, instead of U what we are going to substitute? U plus AT into T. Now while multiplying this inside, what it will come? Before that, U plus U, 2U plus AT into T. Okay, so now what it will come? We are going to take half, we are going to multiply with half and T for each term. So half into 2U into T plus half into AT into T. So this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So UT plus half AT square. So we will be getting S equals to UT plus half AT square. This is called as our second equation of motion. Is it clear, students? This is called as our second equation of motion. This is also known as position-time relation. Is it clear? Now next one, third equation of motion. For going to third equation of motion also, we are considering the same graph only. Which one? Velocity time graph, where the body is already moving with some initial velocity u. Okay, the same graph only you need to draw for the third equation of motion also. Okay, and here also to find out this one, what we are going to take? We are going to take distance travel. That means technically, I said you, technically we can say distance is equals to the magnitude of displacement under velocity time graph. So we are here also we are considering the same thing only. Which one? S equals to the area of our trapezium. Area of our trapezium means 0 A B D. Okay, so here also S equals to what it will come? Half into OA plus DB into OD. So we know that half into U plus V into T we will be getting. Okay. Now here what we are going to do means we know that from our first equation of motion V equals to U plus AT. U plus AT. From this can I find out the value of T? So how it will come? V minus U equals to AT. Again V minus U by A equals to T. See, now I got my T value here. So S equals to what we have written here, half into U plus V into T, isn't it? Now what we are going to do, instead of T we are going to write, we are going to put the value of T, that is V minus U by A. Okay, now we are going to take the denominators one side and we are going to write the numerators. So U plus V into V minus U will come. So as we know that A plus B equals to B plus A, we can write in this form also, A plus B which is equals to B plus A. There is no change in the value. The same way, so I am writing U plus V equals to V plus U. So how it will come? 1 by 2A into V plus U into V minus U. Okay. Now look at this term. Here again it came in the form of A plus B into A minus B, which is equals to A square minus B, A square minus B square, A square minus B square. That is we have already learned in our mathematics. So we can apply that one here. So 1 by 2A into what it will come? V square minus U square, right? So while rearranging this, how I can write? S equals to 1 by 2A into V square minus U square. So while taking this 2A to left hand side, what it will come? 2AS equals to V square minus U square. This is what called as our third equation of motion. Third equation of motion. Is it clear, students? So third equation of motion is also called as known as position velocity relation. So under equations of motion, we have three equations. First equation of motion is v equals to u plus at. Second one equals to s equals to ut plus half at square. Third one is equals to v square minus u square equals to 2as. This one we need to learn in this order only. This is first one, this is second one, and this is third one. Okay. And here each terms what it means. V means that is the final velocity of the object. U means the body is moving with some initial velocity. A means acceleration of the body. T is time. S is distance or displacement we can take. Is it clear, students? This is very, very important. All these three equations we will be applying in our numericals. Okay.